In our first story, government says the economy is set to create more jobs in both the formal and informal sectors. In a statement detailing various pipeline and new interventions by the ministries, departments and agencies to create jobs, government wants to model the model to serve as a guide to those seeking employment to explore the opportunities available. Here are details of this report that was in a statement that was released by the minister in charge of communication, and it says that through the direct government interventions and partnerships with private sector, numerous jobs have been created as follows. One of the key points says that between 2013 and 2015, government through the Export, Trade and Agricultural Investment Industrial Development Fund, as EDIF, supported local industries to the tune of 245.4 million Ghana cedis. And the statement by Mr. Omane Boama, Communications Minister, continues by saying that this amount funded over 125 different projects in the pharmaceutical, rice, nut, poultry and textile industries, among others, thereby creating jobs for thousands of Ghanaians. And the second point it makes here says that the Skills Development Fund implemented by CODVET has disbursed a total of 150 million to 654 people, which has trained 93,600 people in vocational and technical skills across sectors of the economy. A total of 43,485 businesses have also received support under this particular fund that it talks about. And another point here, that the printing and distribution of over 100 million exercise books under the Free Exercise Books Initiative has created thousands of jobs since its inception in 2010. Now, the 100 million Ghana cedis worth of contracts for local printing of textbooks for schools will in addition create jobs for 4,000 people. Now, duties on importation of raw materials, the statement continues saying that for printing textbooks have been removed to incentivize the industry. Now, the distribution of over 2 million school uniforms under the Free School Uniform Program has also created thousands of jobs. So this creates a clear impression of the work being done by government insofar as creating job opportunities for the youth and tackling the issue of graduates' unemployment in its entirety. And the second point here says that additionally, the following programs have created the corresponding number of jobs. 1. Under the Free Zones Board, a total of 69 companies were established between 2013 and 2015, leading to employment of some 16,372 people. Again, it says that the Youth in Agriculture program employed some 23,000 youth in 2013 alone, bringing the total number of youth farmers in the program to 81,150. And again, it says the National Vocational Training Institute, that's the NVTI, integrated community centers for the employable skills, that's the ICCES, and opportunities industrialization centers, OIC, have employed in excess of 21,000 people, and specifically the figure there, 21,802 people have had opportunities created for them in terms of employment in that area. And a key point here as well says that the Rural Enterprise Project has created some 21,045 jobs across the country between 2013 and 2015. That's last year. And we've been joined online by the founding president of Imani Ghana, Mr. Franklin Kujo. But let me read the final point here. It says that a Gratis Foundation under the Ministry of Trade and Industry also created 500 jobs through the production of over 1,000 agriculture implements. And so those are extracts of the statement by the Communications Minister, Mr. Omane Boama, telling Ghanaians of job opportunities that government has created, the John Mahama administration has created since he took office, and also talking about other initiatives that they intend embarking on in the coming years. We've been joined on the line, as I mentioned earlier, by Mr. Franklin Kojo, a founding president of Imani Ghana. Thanks for your time here on News Desk. Through your work, do you find evidence of all these jobs government says have been created?
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers. I've got to say that we are living in interesting times, and interesting they are, because for now, the government seems to be very interested in the legacy it wants to leave. And because we've all been quibbling over this matter of unemployment and then the data, it appears as if they are taking a cue and then doing something about it. Now, it is incumbent upon you and I to be able to go all out there and verify the claims. Because one of the challenges we have in this part of our world is with data and the integrity of data. I can imagine that this may be something really significant in terms of responding to the charge, whether you've created employment or not. It may not be enough, it may not be detailed, but at least there's a first response to the charge that shows us what you've created. It is not for you and I, the media space and in the research arena, to be able to verify the numbers. But in terms of the actuality, as in terms of the things that have been mentioned, as long as the extensions are happening, clearly there must be something that has been created. What we need to find out is the impact of the creation of these jobs. If we verify the numbers much later, then we can quantify exactly how beneficial they've been to the economy. So for me, for now, I'll say, well, kudos to the government for at least responding to the charge that shows the numbers. But you and I now have to do the didactic work of finding out the extent of the claims, and indeed the veracity otherwise, and also the impact of the claims.
So you think entirely it will be difficult to, at this moment, to verify whether or not these figures government has put up are
No. I haven't said that. What I'm saying is that, well, for now, yes, it's just been thrown out there. I mean, it wouldn't. I'm sure it took them probably a month or two to put it together. So we cannot sit on air and within the shake of a lamp still decide to do an interrogation of this. We then have to utilize our powers to get information. And the media has been very good at trying to verify some claims the president has made, but equally to say. And I think this is a very useful exercise, I'm sure. But we at Imani would also do the verification and at some later point come to say whether indeed, one, the claims are verifiable and they are true, and then secondly, if they have a significant impact on the economy at all.
Mr. Kojo, you made an interesting point that in view of the challenge we have in this country in terms of data collection particularly, wouldn't it then not be fair to say that verifying these figures the data government has put up may be a huge task? No.
You see, this would be an opportunity to then demystify whether the claims of these fantastic claims are true or not. And you see, once you're able to find out that one is a lie, the rest will be questionable. So I think it is still better for us to go ahead and find out. I mean, it's very easy to find out anyway, right? I'm sure it is. The numbers will be at least they've mentioned specifics. It's better than some minister coming to say they've created 6 million jobs. You can't verify that, but at least these ones have been mentioned and the categories have been announced. So why don't we just go ahead and then find out exactly what it is? Then we can do the other analysis, the second level of analysis, which means the impact on the economy in general.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Kujo, is this believable? And I'm asking this because we still hear a lot of talk and conversation about a lot of young people in this country who are unemployed. The figures put out here are quite huge in various sectors.
Mr. Fred, the idea of believing what has been put out can only be tested by science. And the science involves you yourself and ourselves verifying. Until we've done that, we cannot say it's believable or not believable. Besides, I've also suggested that even if these figures are verified and true, the impact on the economy have also got to be quantified, because that would be the second layer of analysis that I actually am interested in. These ones, clearly speaking, they may sound superficial, but I can't say that they are true or they are not true, having not done a proper and a thorough checkup. So it may not be necessarily related to the many howls of disappointment you hear in the public. Not at all.
And you say that your outfit will be doing some research into this as well, no?
Well, we've been doing the stuff. You remember the year, July 2015, we did the midterm assessment of the NDC government. And did you know, Mr. Alfred, did you read the NDC's manifesto? Did you know they made 501 promises? And only about 7 of them have some form of measurement, the ability to measure. But we found out that at least they've attained almost 47% of what they set out to do in the manifesto as of July 2015. That was done through a lot of didactic work science. It took my 14-member staff 2 months with a lot of validation of data before we came to that conclusion.
You're talking about the research you launched at the Alisa Hotel.
It is not a light job. You cannot answer some of this by having a media interview. You've got to be able to go further and find out. And one of the things I might want to charge media houses to start doing is to invest in, if you don't want to invest in this, you can even partner organizations such as us. We are always available. God knows how much data we have. We have so much data from about 2008 to 2015 on the economy that you marvel. And we have it there, sitting. And we need to partner organizations like yours, because one of the things you do, because you appear on, you have to do shows almost every day. You don't have the time to do research. But, media is moving beyond just putting the microphone to an expert or so to talk. It has to now move from that level of proper investment. And that's how quality media comes about. And I suspect some of you are doing that already. Just that there's just too many of the media houses now, and they are not even interested in investing in research. It's all the show. And then we are all poor for it. What would have been interesting is that, I'm sure, you see, a media house, and I'm not schooling you how to do your work, but all over the world, the media in proper research so that they will fall on them whenever they need to discuss matters of importance. In place of that, you can organizations such as Imani, and our doors are open. We would definitely love to partner. For instance, we'll be partnering Joy FM and the Advancement Show to do some work ranking of public sector entities that have been very, 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 in terms of that is useful, and we should do a lot of that.
Very well. Thank you, founding president of Imani Ghana, Mr. Franklin Kujo there. But in a related event, hundreds of thousands of graduate nurses and midwives are heading for the streets on Wednesday to protest their continuous unemployment. They've been addressing a news conference here in Accra ahead of the demonstration. Isaac Dorda is the General Secretary and joins me on the line now with more. Tell us about your situation, sir.
Okay, good morning, listeners all over the country. We believe we have people from Ghana who are having the heart for us, and they are listening to us. So we are here to cry to the whole world and our good people here about our own situation. That is unemployment. After we have been trained and we're supposed to be engaged by the government to work, we have not been engaged. and upon several follow-ups, nothing has happened. We are hearing the president is creating jobs, but our own is not a job to be created. Our own has been created by nature. We have a nursing profession has existed since the Renaissance era, so it's not something to be created for now. But as I'm talking, we have about 2,241 of us still unemployed. When we are bonded to work for government after we have been trained, government took care of us when we were in school, supported our parents with the taxpayers' money, and we're supposed to be engaged to work.
And you say you graduated when?
We completed school in March 2014, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And we finished with national service, which even pay the issues of our bond was not supposed to be the situation. We used to do something they call internship or rotation, which has been replaced with national service. So we finished with the national service in August 2015. And for 8 to 9 months now, we have still been sitting in the house doing nothing. And there are a lot of patients in the ward. So that is the greater concern.
And
many of us... Many of us are still, we are jobless, and we cannot find anything doing because our profession is one way, and government do not even permit us pay the terms of our bond to go elsewhere seeking employment. So we have been tied down, and we cannot do any other thing. We have nowhere to go, and even as I'm talking, we have people who are coming from all over the country, those from the north. Even if we are talking about private nursing homes or nursing institutions that are in the capital city, it's only just few who can access that. And even when the few go there, they say that, okay, they are bonded by government and they cannot even engage them unless you have maybe a relative who is having a nursing home who could even engage you. So we are just jobless. And we cannot go to the school to teach. We can't go anywhere doing any other thing. We can't go to the other factories or industries. Our place is the hospitals.
You are skilled in that sense. But tell me, the batch before you, have they been absorbed into the system?
As I'm speaking, there is no batch before us. We only had a group of nursing assistants nurse assistants who were employed after they protested at the Flagstaff House. They did some picketing, which they were arrested.
I remember.
But even that group of people, the group of people I'm talking about, we completed school before them. And I don't know, for whatever reason, our assistant had been employed to go and I don't know, whoever they are going to assist. We don't know about that.
How do you survive then? 2 years staying home without a job, without being absorbed into the system to do what you were trained for?
It has been a serious matter. As I'm speaking, some of us try what is not good. I don't even need to mention it. That is Galamsey. But then we couldn't even fit there. Some of us try to go into the farms. Yes.
Hold on.
Some people try going to do this illegal mining and so that they can survive. But
some of your members.
Some of our members, I can bet you that I am even a victim of it. I am not ashamed to be associated with that issue.
Some of your members have been forced, you say, to go into
we have been forced
illegal mining.
But it is not even, and if you go there, the people you are going to meet and the nature of the place alone will not even permit you to stay there. But you are forced. You have no option than being there.
What?
So, as I'm speaking, a lot of us are hungry. Our skills are wasting. We have been trained. We have the skills to work.
I get a sense you are concerned you go rusty.
Yes.
And government says they've created thousands of job opportunities. You say you've tried looking.
Okay, government created thousands of job opportunities. I said earlier on that our profession or the job that nurses or midwives are supposed to do has nothing to do with the creation of jobs by the government or by the present government. The profession or our job has been created by nature. Day in, day out, people get sick. And so it means that the job has been created. So we are only supposed to be engaged.
So if you are not willing to avail yourself to other job opportunities which may not necessarily relate to what you were trained for.
If I get it right now, I will rush into it. But the fact is that I do not have the skills there. I have been trained as a nurse. and I'm supposed to operate as a nurse. I have a personal identification number. That is my license to practice as a nurse. We do not even permit me to go into driving. I cannot drive with that particular license. It is offered to me to practice as a nurse. It's offered to my colleague to practice as a midwife. So we cannot go into driving. If the government has created driving and other things, we cannot use our license and our certificates to go into politics. It's not one of them. Maybe if that is one of the profession, in quotes.
So you are not willing to take up, say, job opportunities?
It is not that we are not willing to take up job opportunities, but we are not having the skill in those job opportunities.
You'll be trained. If you'll be trained, that wouldn't suffice.
Okay, we have it's like you having married to a lady, and at the end of the day, you decided to say, okay, I want to. Okay, you told the parent, you told the court, you told the church that you want to wed this particular lady. And you took the lady to the altar and to the court, and you wedded the lady. And by the close of the day, you are telling the lady that you're not interested in the marriage, and you will not say that you are not interested. You are just silent, and you are not saying any other thing, but you don't mind her. So where is she going to find herself, and how did she survive?
Interesting analogy there, but before you go, give us some details on your demonstration, what this comes off on Wednesday.
Yeah, our demonstration is coming up live as I'm speaking. Our members all over the country are planning. Most of us have paid our car fares for us to be transferred here. As I'm speaking, we are about 2,241, and about 2,000 of us had already paid. So we are waiting on the 241 people to even pay their fares so that they can get the buses to come from the other regions to this place, to Accra, so that we can go and tell the president that we are still not employed. He has breached the contract. Maybe we have to think of a judgment debt in this case.
Oh, really? Thank you very much, Mr.
You're welcome.
Isaac Doda. He's the president of the Unemployed Nurses and Midwives. We return shortly after this break with a related story, this time around from Chirpone.